Okay, so let me tell you about split brain techniques. There's a few different components to this, so you might want to get a piece of paper and a pen and just note down the dot points. First of all, you can do this by yourself at home, in your own time, in your own space. It's great to experiment in that way. Another way of doing this is in a workshop with a facilitator, with other people, where you can interact and make it really juicy, really spicy. Now, here's what you can do for split brain techniques. You get a timer, you can use your phone, and you get a blindfold. You set the timer for 40 minutes, press start, and put the blindfold on so that you're covering one eye, so it's closed and the other eye is open. After 40 minutes, the timer goes off, you immediately click restart so that it's another 40 minutes, and you switch over to the other eye. Now you're going to be doing multiple sets of 40 minutes. So 40 minutes every time the timer goes off, you change eyes. Left eye, right eye, left eye, right eye. Now, split brain techniques works because the hemispheres of your brain are wired in such a way to cross over with your perceptions, with your senses. Now, it's different for your nostrils, it's different for your left hand and your right hand, and it's different for your eyes. Now, whatever the science behind that is irrelevant. What you want to do is actually do the technique and experiment and experience it for yourself. Don't get bogged down in theory. Don't get bogged down in the philosophy or the idea or anything like that. What we're looking for is your direct experience. Now, what to expect and what to do. Some facilitators would say that one side of you is more masculine and the other side is more feminine. And even they might go as far to say that your left eye is your masculine and your right eye is your feminine. And I actually can't remember which one it is. But for me, that's secondary, right? Me as a facilitator, I wouldn't go that far. I would say it's much more important to try the technique and see for yourself. Because it might be that it's not the case for you. Everyone has their own individual experience. Now, of course, you understand that there's multiple sides to you. Yes, you have a good side, you have a bad side, you have an intellectual way of being, you have a heart-centered way of being, you have a sense of stillness, you have a sense of movement, and all the rest of it, right? We can go on with listing lots of polarities and dichotomies and contradictions and all of that. And that's what's so great about split brain techniques. That's what's so great about this experience, is that you do the technique and you experience it. You get to explore it for yourself. Now, what to do during these 40-minute sets? What you can do if you're at home alone is you can just go about your day. You can do some homework. If you work from home, you can do housework, working in the garden, taking the rubbish out, cleaning the dishes, whatever it is. So long as every 40 minutes the timer goes off, and when you hear the timer, you click restart, and then you change eyes. Another way of experimenting with this is to actually do activities the same for each side, for each eye. So for example, you might take an activity like reading a book, and you would do that a little bit while you've got one eye covered, and then you do it for a little bit while you've got the other eye covered. Now, if you're doing that and you are choosing activities, you can write down a list of things to do so that you're following them and you're making sure that they're the same in each set. Now, reading a book is a good one because that's very much an intellectual sense. It's very much a mind-centric activity. And you'll notice the difference between one side and the other. It might be that one eye really struggles. One side of you really struggles to concentrate. One side of you finds it really not interesting at all to read a book, while the other finds it very interesting, very opening, very enlivening. Another activity that's really good dancing to music. Dancing is an embodiment activity. It's a global phenomenon in your mind, in your brain. And it's something that is a completely different center to reading, which is mind-centric. It might be that you dance in a certain way when you've got one eye covered, and you dance in another kind of way when you've got your other eye covered. It might even be that you're dancing to the same kind of music. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that curious? Now, of course, I can't point out what kind of dancing you're doing. No one can. There's no name for the kind of differences in the dances that you do. Yes? And even if we had a professional choreographer, a professional dance facilitator, there wouldn't be much use in them putting labels to your dances. It would be up to you to notice the difference, for you to see the difference. Now, if you're doing this in a group, if you're doing split brain techniques in a workshop, which we run at Melbourne Body Awareness, then you have many more opportunities for noticing these differences. Because first of all, you're interacting with other participants. You're seeing how is it that a conversation unfolds when you've got one side of you perceiving the situation versus another side of you perceiving the situation. Now, here's another part to this. You've got your timer. You're going 40 minutes, left eye, right eye, and you're doing this for multiple sets throughout the day. What's going to happen is it's going to build to a momentum where you come to the end of these sets and you want to actually open up into both eyes. Now, this moment is delicate. This moment is precious. This is really what it all builds towards. It's where the two sides come together and they meet each other. And there's this third thing that opens up, which is a higher awareness. It's the thing that sees both sides. So when you finally do come to the last set, you want to have a moment of quiet. You want to make sure that it's quite peaceful around you. You want to be moving very slowly and being very still. And the ideal environment to do this is somewhere where there's lots of nature around. So lots of trees, lots of flowers, lots of things that are naturally growing, because you want to be able to perceive things that are multidimensional. You want to be able to see things in a primal situation, in a primal scenario. And then what you do is you take the blindfold off. You simply allow the experience to come into you. Notice what happens. Now, in that moment, your ability to notice your connection to the environment will be at a peak, because throughout the day, you've been practicing, you've been bringing yourself to it over and over again, and you've been noticing the differences, and it will open up into something new. Now, if you'd like to find out more about the workshops that I'm running and facilitating, you can head on over to my website. There's lots to discover there. There's also a contact page. And if you would like another video on something that we can discuss, please leave me a comment. What is it that you'd like to know about? Would you like to know more about split brain techniques, or would you like to know more about other kinds of techniques?